Kasan Chechugu Nin Australia Chuzo Tumi Yiguzab Chojungi Pumi Jigzugi Chiti Lakbatsing Tenden Chogando Sargul Henzo She Gonzo Gu Zenje Pumi Mangzu Pedim Langaju Nande Pumi Chande Yongwar Mutu Nyawa Zeme Gi Chale Nangyu Yimba Song Song.
Australia has recognised that there are real challenges for Tibetans and in Tibet, and we recognise that there are threats to culture and education, language, and your Tibetan way of life. So we're very pleased to be here to get a deeper insight into those issues and to see what we can do as an Australian friend to be able to assist.
Now, all of us here have known, we have done a lot of research and understanding of some of the issues that are being faced by the people of Tibet. Some of the things like the forced, the Chinese boarding schools that Tibetan children are now being forced to be going and doing their schooling in is just so heartbreaking to be hearing what is now going on in Tibet. But it has been wonderful to get a sense of hope and a sense of inspiration from the Tibetan people who are here in Dharamshala, and to be meeting with the Parliament, to be meeting with ministers, to be meeting with the Dalai Lama. It has just been a great inspiration, and certainly leaves me feeling that when we return to Australia, that we will continue to work tirelessly to be trying to be getting justice for the people of Tibet.
I have heard everywhere I've gone about the extraordinary spirit and resilience of the Tibetan people and the hope that our visit is bringing to some Tibetan people at least. But I want to say to you that the hope you give us is even greater. I have seen firsthand the extraordinary operation of a government in exile, and this is a most unusual situation. I chair a parliament in Australia where there are, very, very long-standing traditions and an interesting collation of both Westminster and Washington in terms of our practice in Parliament. But never have we had to face the challenges that the Tibetan government in exile or the CTA have to. And it is the most extraordinary innovation in democracy that I have seen.
Look, I mean, perhaps my colleagues can speak on behalf of the government, but in terms of people in the Parliament and for my advocacy, it's that human rights for everyone across the world matter. No matter where you are, that people's human rights should be respected. And clearly the Chinese Communist Party government is not respecting the human rights of people in Tibet. And our government, in fact, our Foreign Minister and the Assistant Foreign Minister have just spoken out very strongly about that and speaking up for Tibet in forums in the last couple of days. And as Australians, we will continue to work multilaterally with other countries around the world to be keeping that focus on human rights. And it was very moving to read the reports of the UN Special Rapporteurs about the forced removal of Tibetan children into boarding schools and about forced labour. And so those, having that level of serious attention being paid by the UN really gives Australia the ability and a commitment to continue to work multilaterally, to be trying to continue to work for the human rights of the people of Tibet.
She said Australia Chuzo Tumi Yiguzab Chojung Ne Kani Konsikyam Gyun Chimbucho Yu Pumi Tigzu Ge Manzu Kawasum Ge Zezo Namda Lendo Jenten Na Yobatang Kasan Pyo Ge Siju Nyamshib Kangi Nyamshib Zu Pumi Shungde Membe Choga Ge Guzab Tishin Pyo Ge Dromi Topdan Da Manzu Pege Dena Kan Jesu Tsamse Ki Tirin Drobe Minzi Kan Zu Norling Pyo Ge Rishun Jekyon Kan Sola Sigo Nande Sang Chizi Nishu Saji Nyenge Ngador Chir Pebgi Yobare.
Well, it was a real joy to meet the Dalai Lama and to hear from him about the importance of hope and staying very hopeful about the Tibetan cause. We laughed a lot. He told us stories. He talked about his relationship with Desmond Tutu and what they shared. And I think for us it was inspirational to see his determination to stay very compassionate and hopeful about the future for Tibet and Tibetans.